in the AI and crypto space. Yeah, I'm also quite close with Joe and his friends back in the UK, where there's a bunch of us, right? Also like some Net2 guys from BitTensor. Yeah, like we're early into this AI space, and then they just realize, oh, there's AI and crypto that can actually work. That's way ahead before the GPT hype. By the time when me and Ifan, when we do Kaggle mastering, like there isn't any, well, there isn't too much people thinking about the crypto utility of it in the AI space. And then by the time when Joe was doing Numerai, that's probably one of the first AI crypto-ish related projects in the world, right? And now, of course, nowadays, if you see that Coinbase new research on this space, it's like tons of logos there now. So the industry totally changed, like from the time that we actually starting to do this until and now the space is like looks like fully packed already. But good thing is we have lots of early joiners, supporters like Joe, like Ifan, like many of our friends in the community before. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for bringing this up. Like we've done a Japan meetup already, and this one in Bangkok, maybe some others in Italy in the future. So I quite like the vibe of this community because we are, the young pioneers. That's actually before the hype that we're already been doing this. That's what I like. Those are true lovers of AI and crypto. Yeah, so a little bit about me. Like, my name is Jiahao San, CEO and co-founder of Flock, and have my team here. Nick, Vazim, and Vasal was here. He's now in another event. Yeah, we've been building this for about 3 years, especially focusing on how the decentralized machine learning thing works. So I'll go a bit deeper to what we've been doing, and then how everyone can actually participate. So actually, I only just knew that we have 1.5 hours this morning. So that's quite a long time. So we'll try to see what we can bring to the audience here. And thank you for staying here. So the company name Flock, it's actually a PAM. It's a combination of federated learning and blockchain. Flock, right? So that's where we started the company. That's where we started to think about this. So before Flock, I was doing AI and research and applications in different places. Like I actually teach PhD students in Imperial College London. I'm also global head of AI at RBC, Royal Bank Canada, helping them running applications and research, especially on the fintech space. Because of the backgrounds I hold, right, I can see lots of those silo things happening, especially in highly sensitive industries like finance or like healthcare, which is also one of our early paying customers. So you will see that many of them, they want to train a better model. They want to have a better model across industry, across discipline, but then they can't. There are walls between different teams. They can't share information, right? For trading, for healthcare purposes, even cross-border, that's not allowed. There's some famous. So federated learning has already been a thing, an emerging technology in the early days, like in 2017 when Google actually launched this thing, and then they've been practicing it in their user bases for typing habits. If nowadays you're using Pixel phones, right, all your typing habits is being trained and predicted in a federated learning way, meaning that they don't send your original data back to their server. Everything happens locally. Every data keeps locally. That's also one of our belief, that we want to make sure that compute happens as close as the data source, so we don't have to transfer data source to any third party. This is generally the idea behind behind federated learning. But then when it comes to truly running a business or running a framework, right? There will always, in traditional world, in Web 2, there will always be a company behind. That actually creates a big issue, because I know a fact that there's a French company doing federated learning in healthcare very well, but then they never got a deal in another country because, it's a thing that many countries will be considering. Yes, this is federated learning. It's safe, but how can I prove? So there's no way to actually make it a permissionless open platform as Web3. do. So that's where triggered us to do Flock, that we are not a company behind a certain framework that you have to sign a contract with us. It's open framework, open software, everyone can use. The only difference comparing to PyTorch maybe in traditional Web2 world is you have to use your wallet, stake to train. So that's a way that we can ensure that the platform still in a permissionless way, nobody's controlling it. But if you are playing evil, if you are trying to point the algorithms, then you'll be kicked out. So it's like a game theory within the training process. So that's where Flock stands. So that's why we call it proof of stake for AI training. And then now I think everyone knows why that we kind of like need this. This is the slides that we did before when we talked to investors, and then not many of them quite understand AI and crypto space. And then from beginning of this year, suddenly everyone understands it. So that's that's how this world goes, right? So you're ahead of market, then yeah, everyone's questioning why we need this. And then when the market hype comes, oh yeah, suddenly everyone understands it. So yeah, we can't just leave the world with only two models, right? Or two models controlled by a central governance body, right? We heard about the news scandal about Gemini on their first release, the biased photos generated, right? So in the whole process of AI generation, from inferencing, from evaluation, from model building, all this processes, we want to make sure that every user or every contributor of the community can have a say, can at least give some feedbacks instead of someone sitting in an office in SF and just decided it for us all, right? So this is where the whole idea of democratizing AI stands. I believe it's a similar idea for many of the AI crypto projects here as well. So there's always a say, or actually there's always a kind of idea difference between something crypto for AI or something AI for crypto. So when you talk about AI for crypto, it more stands with using AI algorithms or using AI to help crypto more efficient, like building some agents that can do bridging between different crypto projects, crypto chains, right? Or having a meme coin generator that can just help you generate meme coins. Yeah, that's quite AI for crypto. But in the other way around, crypto for AI, that's where we stand. That we want crypto as a blockchain, as its mechanism that can help the AI system to actually run better. So for us, the reason we use this POS-based AI training is just to trying to make sure all those trainers have their stake into one of the trainings, and then they will be rewarded or slashed based on the consent of all the participants. And it's go for two very major reasons. One is for the system security, because once you open up a system, people will generally go and try to hack you, right? Like when we launched our testnet May this year, and then during the whole process, every day our team is trying to fight back with all the hackers, trying to think of the crazy ideas they think they can game the system. So yeah, and also for the fair incentives as well, because that on blockchain, the thing also, another very good thing for blockchain is it's transparent. Audit trail is all transparent on chain, right? Everyone can see everyone's transaction. For example, there's only 100 transactions towards that model, and 3 of them is made by you, then 3% is definitely your share. That's where the two biggest importance of why we want a blockchain to join and help AI, and that's where Flock stands. And yeah, we publish our papers, talk about this, and then with very complete experiments and mathematical facts about how Flock works, and whether it's doing why it's doing a high performance way when even in decentralized training. And that's only RIPS. That's one of the best paper award 2023, and on science, robotics, big data, transaction AI, and many of those. And also we are not so Flock itself, it's a training framework, right? It's basically like a PyTorch, so it can work with many different technologies upon it. So this is quite an interesting paper that we did called ZKFL, which we also got granted by Ethereum Foundation about. So So just still using Flock as a training framework and then adding layer of security like zero knowledge proof over it. So the transmission between two nodes can be even more secured. So similar idea can apply to, for example, TEEs, right, or FHEs if it happened one day. So yeah, so for us, what we're really trying to build is this platform or framework where everyone can just adopt it. You don't have to you can adjust to whatever tech stack that you are familiar with yourself. So yeah, so far we launched these three big parts of Flock. One is the AI Arena, one is the FL Alliance, one is a model marketplace. So the arena, so basically these three things actually they fly together. They form our idea of this is a platform for Uber for MLEs. So for the business collaborators with us, they will come in and then basically that's a pipeline from the data in to finally the model out. So in the AI arena, it's more like Kaggle, which yeah, I guess many of you guys are here familiar with, right? So our collaborators like a forecaster before, like a cache, they'll put up a task and say, oh, let's train a model together. Let's we're gonna have an uncensored model that one's with a cache. So so the general models that we have in the open world, that's all censored, right? Whether there's a way that we can actually uncensor that model to make the model a bit more free to generate results, for example. And there are other ones like for Farcaster, we're trying to build a recommendation system for them because Farcaster itself is like a totally open system, right? You want to make sure, or you want to utilize all those data to make a recommendation system that works for all their clients, or sorry, all their users, but there might not be enough data, right? So how to solve that? So all of these open questions, well, we'll have a, well, we're not that open. All of these questions, tasks with specific objectives will be placed into an arena, and then our group of communities will join and compete each other, trying to figure out the best algorithm that can solve the question. So, well, generally from large language models, we have like 15,000 people right now in our training nodes, and also coming from other external industries or shared communities, like the one that we just did with Aptos. There's a community between both sides because the movie language used by Aptos community, that it's a bit niche language. You can't really find a lot of open domain data in the world. So, in order to build a better copilot, that we actually work together with their community to put up this task, and then all those trainers join together to fine-tune the model and make the model actually better. So that model actually outperformed GPT-4o in movie language copilot. So this is where I think the very important, interesting thing goes, right? So when it comes to niche use cases, open domain don't really have enough data, and if you want to access a rich domain of data, you might access into those private data holders, and they might not want to share their own open domain data. Then how can you do it? You want to run it in a Flock way, so they can be sure that, okay, everything's in my side, but I can still contribute to a model that will help me in the future. Yeah, and then for all those base models that's been trained and fine-tuned, we'll push them over to the FL Alliance. That's where this decentralized, online decentralized training happens. So it's like framework where everyone in the world can connect into one network, and then they can still use their data to keep growing the model, make it better, make it more relevant to themselves. That's a very federated learning thing. So we call it FL Alliance. We just soon will release a new interesting video about us running Flock, all the data and the label in one place, but then all the compute happens with MacBook, consumer level MacBooks in another place to host 40 billion large language models without needing to send any of those data to any of the rest of the computes. So that's how we want to demonstrate how this FL Alliance works in a very decentralized fashion. Yeah, and then eventually, once the model is built, once everyone's happy about it, and once they think, okay, we can earn some money from it, right? So they can put it over to the marketplace, just like App Store, and then just play around with those models. So end users can just pay to collaborate. So that would be the long tail demand from the model builders who can actually get a long-term stake from the usages of those models if they perform well. So basically, generally, that's the three parts of the AI Arena, FL Alliance, model marketplace. That's generally on our platform right now. Everyone can play with them or participate into our training algorithms. So we've been working with lots of our clients before, like as I mentioned, Cache, Hyperbolic, Protocol Labs, Morpheus, Olus, Retro. For them, we did transaction agents, which is actually live, I think, in their mainnet. And yeah, and many of the AI companions, which I guess from day one, everyone was thinking about those, right? But now we have LLM, we should build some personal assistant. But if you need to have a good personal assistant, you need to put all your personal data over to them, which is a lot, right? So not many people want to do that. So how to fine-tune a model that does not really break your personal data, Flock. And we have Web2 cases as well. Healthcare is our biggest sector of focus. We got collaboration with University College London Hospital for the glucose monitoring prediction, especially in Flockway. And we just recently got another deal from Moore's Eye Hospital, Moorfields Eye Hospital, which is a top eye clinic in the world, which we are doing the iris prediction for any diseases happening for the patients. So yeah, and also for the finance industry, which I came from, right? Credit scoring, all this needs. That's very, yeah, that's very straightforward use cases that everyone can think of. So yeah, so for us, we're not just, for our business, we're not just a Web3 company. We work very well in the Web2 cases, Web3 cases. There are some interesting ones that we just recently announced, like with Animoca brands that Nick can maybe talk about later. We're building a investment algorithm for them, because within their own team, there will be information gap between different teams, because some different teams will look at different deals, right? We are shipping this model together with them, so they can respect their all information walls between different groups, but can still have a macro bot that can answer their questions and quickly generate a feedback about any decks that they just put together into the algorithm. Yeah. Oh, and the token thing. Yeah. So currently we're on testnet based Sepolia. Reason is they are quite cheap, and the TPS is high enough. But we've already reaching 1/3 of their daily cap. So it's like currently on Flock, the gas is around 10 million per day. So like there's a huge amount of usages that people are training and actively running on it. Like right now in Joe's apartment in Reading, his computers are running now. Right. So yeah. So what the token's doing? We call it FML. We might change the name. Just want to make it into the vibe of the Web3 community, right? So it's basically the gas token for all the transactions between data providers, training nodes, validators, and then also back to the end users who actually need to pay those tokens to start using the algorithm, right? So all this is basically a ecosystem from the consumption to the supply. That's where the token works, and yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you're interested, the QR code is there. You can, but it's easy to remember. Just trend.flock.io. You already get to the website already. So you can choose to become either the training nodes or the validators or the delegators. So the difference is for training nodes, that's basically one of the top, let's say the top performing guys. Maybe in Kaggle, they will join as training nodes, and then they will run their own algorithms to each of the tasks to compete with each other to maybe get the top 10 rewards, right? And then for validators, they actually join in the network as, oh yeah, because on this deck I forgot to mention the whole Flock thing. So for every training in Flock, we will have randomly selected people to propose a training algorithm and then to validate a training algorithm. So basically, validators will be the ones who running their machine on, and then for all the results coming out from the algorithms, they will use it to check against their validation set to see if the model is actually performing good. So that's the validators. And then delegators will be easier. Like anyone can be a delegator. You don't need to understand everything. You just register, log in, and then delegate into your favorite ones. Yeah. So every of the high performance training or validators, they will have their own personal page to show off like who they are. And then yeah, if people are interested in working with them or delegate to them, you can just click to delegate. So yeah, that's our incentivized testnet so far. And yeah, we've been having quite some active members like for training nodes, for validation nodes, and huge supports from the communities and also the early joiners, Foundry, Numerai guys, Gnosis Chain, Kaggle. And yeah, we've had almost 2 million validation transactions already, and then it's like 70,000 models submitted already. So yeah, and lots of the interesting tasks with Farcaster, cache, text to SQL. Many of those are having their original business value anyways. So people are paying them for getting a third-party vendor to build for them anyways, right? So this is like a very healthy ecosystem on our side. So it's the model generates value, and then that value was accrued and then distributed as a rewards to everyone who actually participated or who actually helped to tune the model. Yeah. So as per our legal team, so there's a disclaimer. Make sure you read it through clear and tick the box. Right. So that's pretty much everything that we kind of prepared for today as a talk. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, or actually Vadim can just show the, yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually something Vadim can show on our all the tasks. So yeah, the requirements for training are various. Like some of them can go with like 9 billion, 13 billion parameters, or some of them can be smaller. Like we require something that can run on edge. So it all depends on the task creator, which we collaborate with. So how do they want to set the requirements for their algorithm? Because some of them want to make it run on edge, right? Some of them want to make it run on smaller data centers, so it's different. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like that. So you build a model, you tune a model, you have your own skills and everything that to make it better, right? And then you submit. Yes. And then in the validation phase, all the validators will check the results and then to make a ranking of everyone's performance. Yeah, model remains local. Yeah. Yeah. For training nodes, you don't have to keep it always on. If you're just in the submission phase, you can just submit one or two of your best results. Yeah. Cool.